really. Sarah, do you want to kick us off, please?
Yes, sure, no worries. A very good evening to you, Warren. Congratulations on the win this evening. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we probably get underway. Could you just talk us through Luke? How did he have a bit of strapping onto his thigh? Is he okay?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Yep.
And also, is there any concerns at all about Alan Jones' shoulder as he came off?
No, he's fine.
Okay. So, who impressed you this evening?
Oh, there's a number of players I thought, in fairness to the Stormers, they came out and really had a real go at us in that first 20-odd minutes, and we had to weather a storm, and that's kind of what you expect on a Lions tour, because it's an opportunity for those players to give 100%, and they put us under a bit of pressure. Pleased that we got back into it. So look, there was some really good performances. I thought Luke was good. Second rows played well. Some good stuff from the back row, obviously, with Marcus Smith as first game. The longer the game went on, the better he looked and more comfortable out there. And Duan was strong on the wing too. So look, a number of players were good, and then I was really pleased with the bench too, how the impact that they had coming off and kept the pressure on and kept the momentum, and we scored some lovely tries, particularly in that second half.
When it comes to Marcus Smith, you mentioning him there and him coming in so late and being so young, does he have a realistic shot of being in contention next weekend?
Those are conversations we haven't had, but having a look through the game again and seeing him, I thought he looked good out there, and he's some lovely touches. He kicked well, kicked for goal well. I thought he defended well, So for a guy who's really only had one training session, I thought it was pretty good, and been here for 5 days. So look, that he'll be part of the discussions, no doubt about that. So he's like everyone. I mean, a lot of people put their hands up tonight, and there was some pleasing performances on Wednesday too.
And lastly from me, which areas of your 15 for those tests is going to cause you the most problems when it comes to selection next weekend?
I'm only probably repeating what everyone else is saying in terms of there's going to be some like calls and with regards to the back three and the makeup of the back three, the loose forwards and how that mix is going to look as well. So they're probably the tightest calls that we've got to make, and trying to get the balance right in those positions. But we'll go through the process of making sure that we go through everyone and look at the starting 15, and also it's important that we consider the impact that the bench will have as well, and having the right players to come on and continue with momentum, or make sure they come on and can add something that we might need for next week.
Thanks, Warren.
Warren, that's the end of the warm-up games. Are you happy with where you're at? Are you where you expected to be and where you wanted to be? And how much clarity do you have over your test team at the moment?
Look, I've started to get some names in my head and thinking about combinations. So, they're probably getting a lot closer. And like I said, we'll sit down and have a look at the game and talk to the medics as well about all the players from a fitness perspective. Even though I think we're pretty good, and then we'll start thinking about getting those right combinations together. So look, I'm not. That's sort of the next 48 hours, 72 hours. When we'll go through that process. So it'll be some robust debate, I would presume.
And just on Alan Jones come back, were you happy with that? Did you think you asked him? Did you have a chat after the match? Did you have a word with him after the match?
Yeah, I thought, look, he put a few shots on and defended well. He had a couple of touches there. So, the big thing for him was to get through that period, and then to see how he was afterwards. And I haven't really had a chat to him about he wasn't out there for a long time, just how the lungs were. I know how hard he's worked over the last year or so. He was desperate to make the Lions. Felt in 2017 he probably wasn't at his best, and has really been exceptional in the way he's prepared for this tour. And it was a shame that he picked up that injury, but it's great to have him back. And we'll have that discussion about, is there a role for him, either as a starter or a bench player or not involved next week. So we've got some options, and it was a great game for us. I think it's been a brilliant week for us because we got exactly what we wanted in terms of Wednesday, knowing what's coming next week. I don't think if we'd had that game, or if we'd had the A team that they put out today against the Bulls, then we possibly wouldn't have been tested like we were on Wednesday. So I think from that point of view, the preparation for next week gives us an insight of what to expect, and I think it will definitely help our preparation go into the first test.
And have you asked any secrets about Elvin's recovery yet? Is there anything he did that surprised you? Anything unusual?
No. I thought he was good. So there wasn't anything that surprised me about him. He's a competitor. He loves playing for the Lions, and he was desperate to get back. So it's kind of to me, it shows how much it means to the players from those 4 home nations to play for the Lions and be desperate to go on a tour and hopefully be successful. So that's a huge positive. And the boys were pretty happy in the change rooms afterwards, and we presented Marcus with his cap and sang a couple of songs, which was good, and just shows that the spirit in the camp is pretty good. The guys have got on brilliantly so far, and we know we've got a big week ahead of us building to that first test.
Hi Warren, can I check there's a decision being reached on who's going to be tour captain next week?
Who's going to be tour captain next week? Well, that'll depend on the side that we name. Oh, you mean in terms of? Alan Wynn's come back into that role, so Connor's comfortable, and look, he stepped in to do it, and Alan Wynn was named as tour captain before, so it's brilliant that he's come back, and Connor, he's the first to admit that he was more than comfortable for Alan Wynn to come back, and so that's it's a measure of him as a person as well as anything. He wasn't prepared to give up his bedroom suite though, because I think he got the captain's bedroom suite. So, but he's been it was easy in terms of that, and we'll see how the preparation goes next week, and if Alan Wynn's involved or whatever, we'll look at, and if he's not involved, then someone else. We'll look at whoever potentially leads the team.
And can I ask how different the test that will happen next week will be to the one you probably had in your head at the start of the tour? I kind of don't go in with preconceived ideas. I think for me I let the media do that, and the other rugby experts. They have all their own opinions, and they're all very, very different from each other. So, which is great, and it's I don't have any issues with that. So, I try not to go in there with thoughts about players about this is potentially a test side. I just kind of like that to develop, and the players to have that opportunity, and then to put the hand up and pick it late. And sometimes it's about looking at their games and performances, looking at their numbers and the stats, and then or having a gut feel about certain players and certain combinations. So and that process will really take place, even though I've started to think about it, but really fine-tuning that over the next couple of days and dig it into what we think the test team is going to be. Hey Warren, congrats on the win. Can I just ask you the strong half situation? How much has Ali Price put his hand up there? Because a lot of people obviously had Connor nailed on to the starting spot.
Yeah, Ali's done well, and Gareth probably from his own point of view didn't play as well as he would have liked last week. I thought he was good coming off the bench. We had a few box kicks that probably went a little bit too far, and we wanted to compete a little bit more.
So that's an area we need to tidy up. But he's looked sharp, and when he started to run a little bit, he put them under a bit of pressure. Particularly from sort of third and fourth phase, and a nice break and picked up some runners as well. And so he's been excellent. So I've been really pleased with his performance.
Yeah, we saw Robbie Hitchcock off in about 58 minutes. Was that just to manage his minutes, and what did you make of his turn?
We'd planned to only give Robbie that amount of time. We didn't want him to go the full 80, so we wanted to have him hit out. I think it was obvious that he needed to run. And again, there was a couple of things in his game that he'll look at and think, and given his experience and what he's able to do, I think he'll be better for that. If he gets that opportunity next week. So he definitely needed the game. He was tidy without being brilliant, but I was pleased with the way, as a team, keeping them trialists, and we defended it exceptionally well. And so he was a big part of that, and working in terms of organising that midfield defence and our short side as well.
Cheers, Jordan.
Thank you.
Warren, part of the questions we really asked me spoken about was about the earlier matches, but as a follow-up to that, what aspects of your game are you going to be focusing on most this week, or do you think needs most attention this week when you go to the first test?
Sorry, I didn't.
What areas of the game need most attention this week?
Well, I think we're expecting a lot of runners off 9, so we've got to match the Springboks, that physicality coming off 9 and getting some go forward. So that's one area that we've got to work on, and just how much they are prepared to kick the ball. So whether that's Faf, or if it's Mornay Stain or Andre Pollard, or whoever at 10, we expect a lot of kicking in the game. And so that's kind of with a lot of teams, you might be 20 odd kicks in a game, and when you play this with the Springboks, it goes up to 40 odd. So that's an area we need to do a lot of work this week in terms of our aerial game and a kick chase, and getting back and supporting players, and being prepared to stay in that arm wrestle, because we expect a lot of kicks.
And defence, what is that going to mean?
Sorry, what's that?
Defend handball.
Oh yeah, I think the thing with our defence, I think we've kept improving. One of the things, again, we didn't concede a try. We haven't conceded a pick and go try on this tour yet, and that's, to me, has been a pleasing thing. It's one of the strengths of South African rugby. When they get sort of 5 yards out from the line, they tend to, whether that's with a maul or whether that's with their pick and go, they tend to convert on a number of occasions, and we haven't conceded a try in that area yet. But it's an area we'll still keep working really hard on the week, and making sure that hopefully we don't concede there.
Thanks, Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.
Cheers. Thank you.
Everyone came last year. They were banging.
So, do you want to kick us off? Who's your question, first question to?
Sure, if I start with Rudy first of all.
Oh, Blue, big man. Oh, no, I know you think I'm a handsome bloke, man. Handsome bloke, man.
A very good evening to you. Congratulations on the win this evening. How did it feel for you personally out there?
It was good. It was a good, tough battle. Obviously, we kept quite a lot of the ball in the forwards, and I think to only concede 3 points tonight, I think it's a step forward for the boys. We've still got things to work on, but yeah, it was good. Tough.
For you, when you came off, you had a little bit of strapping on your thigh. Could you tell us what that was for?
Just a minor dead leg. Took a knee early on in the first half, and just getting it right. Speaking to the physios, so nothing really.
You actually got quite a lot of praise off the back of your performance this evening and throughout the whole tour. How do you feel personally about your chances for getting a test shirt next week?
I had a similar question earlier. Obviously, it'd be amazing to get a test under my belt, but for me, obviously, it's about winning the test series. So the coach is going to pick obviously the best 23, and if I'm not involved in that, as long as we go out and do the job and win, I'll be just as happy. So I've done what I could have done, obviously from the previous games and tonight, to put my foot forward. But obviously, if it's not right, then I just have to take it on the chin.
Can you just talk us through what the game plan was this evening and what Warren wanted to see from you and where you think you executed it well?
Game plan. Obviously, the game plan's been pretty similar. We're going into our tap penalties quite a bit at the minute, and we felt like we had a bit of success off the mauls. We're getting a few penalties, obviously midfield. So I think, like I said, we kept it in the forwards quite a bit tonight, and I think it did work out well. There's still things to work on. They collapsed our maul quite well, and there was getting a bit of joy out of that. But for us, I think as a forward back, it's a step closer to where we want to be.
Okay, if I can ask one now to Mr. Rees-Zammit alongside you.
Hello.
It's not the sort of question I would normally start with, but when we're coming from a man who's famous for his haircuts, coming straight to you, please talk us through what happened with the fines committee and the lightning bolt.
Yeah, it was a tough one. No, I just had a little fine, and we have a little dice roll system. So unfortunately, it landed on a number that I didn't want, and then I had to have that lightning bolt in my head.
You didn't choose the lightning bolt then?
No, I did not.
Just checking. Okay. I will move on to more serious questions now. So thank you for clearing that up for us. Just talk us through how it went for you this evening and what it was like running in that try.
Yeah, obviously great performance from the boys. It made my job a lot easier when I came on. We wore them out first half, and then we knew they were going to be, energetic first 10 minutes of the second half. So we had to kind of, balance that out. And as soon as we got through that, we could start playing a bit more because we knew they were a bit tired. And then when I came on, just tried to bring fresh legs on and do whatever I could to help the team.
And just lastly from me then, how would it feel for you next week if you did get the nod to be involved?
It'd be absolutely amazing. But we got a full training week next week to prepare anyone who plays. So it's all over to Warren to pick the best 23, and whoever that may be, we're supporting the boys.
Thank you.
Okay. You're on mute, James. You're on mute, James.
Sorry, one for you, Luke. It's James here. Big difference in physicality facing you next week. You must be pleased with lots of aspects of what's happened, the line out, the scrum so far. What are you going to be focusing on this week? What are you looking to improve upon?
There's obviously loads of things we can improve on. We haven't been together too long. There's been different combinations in the pack for the last few weeks. So it's really just, moulding together well. I think, like I said, line-out wise, they got quite a bit of joy out of sacking us. So, we'll have little works on that. And then just scrum time, we always work on similar stuff in the live scrums. So just be, like I said earlier, gluing together. getting the last little bits right, because I think we've gone well so far in the series. Just looking forward to next week.
And Lewis, similar question to you. You must have really enjoyed being on the end of some of the midfield back work. What are you going to be looking as your key work-ons this week as a back line?
Obviously, we had a bit of we obviously played a strong South Africa team on Wednesday, and we knew they kicked the ball a lot. So aerial work will be a big work on this week, making sure we can take the ball in the air, and our escort lines are pretty solid. So I'd probably say that. But obviously, we've got exciting backs, and to play with the ball whenever we can is always a joy.
Good luck, mate.
Hey, Luke. It's a question for Luke, please. Greg and Townsend was saying yesterday about how this game is particularly important in terms of test selection. It's the last one the selectors will see. What's your approach going into a game like this, knowing that a big performance could sort of nudge it in your favour?
I prep and play each game. This is pretty much the same, whether it's for a club, England or the Lions. Obviously, I want to put my best foot forward. I try and play my best rugby most games. Obviously, sometimes you get that, sometimes you don't. And I think I did put a foot closer forward potentially to get in the 23. Like I said earlier, if I don't get in the team, if I don't get in the 23, all I want is for the boys to win. So, it was exciting. It was good to get the MOM, but there was 23 other guys that played tonight were outstanding. So I'm just excited to see what we bring next week.
How have you found your Lions experience overall, the tour as a whole so far?
Oh, it's been incredible. Obviously, it's a thing you wanted to do since you were younger. First was international, and then obviously when the Lions come around and I got selected, it was massive. And I've loved every minute of it. The boys have been real good. I think we've knitted really well as a team, and just to get some game time, really. I didn't have the most game time at the start, obviously coming in a bit late, and then just to get another start tonight was massive for me. And trying to play as much minutes as I can in the tour, and see where it goes.
Do you feel like you've built up a bit of momentum?
As a team?
Yeah, yourself.
Me, maybe. I think I've been playing reasonably okay. Obviously, I've been selected for this, so obviously Gat's seen something of me before. I think it's been going well for me so far. And main thing, obviously, set piece. I think set piece has been going well. My lineouts have been going well, and wherever else I can help out the team, I will.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. Can I ask Lewis a question, please? Hi there, it's Katie from Wales Online. Hope you're well. Can I ask then, that try that you were running in, it looks like you're not even trying really, it looks like you're in third gear. Would you agree there's so much more to come from you there?
Yeah, there is, but I just had to do what I could to get to the line.
Yeah. And what's the overall experience been like so far? It wasn't that long ago you were getting your Wales debut. Are you just taking it all in your stride as it sunk in? Yes, yeah, I've had a pretty amazing, 18 months really. To get my first Wales call up last August, and then to get a Lions call up was even more special. So I'm absolutely loving it here. All the boys are great, and as Luke said, we've knitted really well. So it's been great. And how do you think the so-called Lions auditions have gone so far then? Do you think there's any more you could have done for next week and beyond? As in me? Yes, sorry, yeah. Well, I'm just trying to, perform. Sorry, I'm just trying to perform at my best, and whatever I can do to help the team, whether that's scoring or taking high balls or making meters, whatever that may be. I'm trying to do that for the team. It's not for myself. So, it's down to Gats to choose the best 23 for next week, and whoever that may be, then we're really looking forward to it. And last one from me then. Is there any chance you can clarify what the fine was for the haircut? I actually can, yeah. It wasn't that stupid. Like, I just lost in table tennis, so they fine you for whatever they can, the fines committee. So is that your first fine? Yeah, that was my first fine, and hopefully I haven't got any more.
No. He's going to have spoke about too much.
What's that? Sorry, the mic's not working very well on your side.
He's trying to say that's not my only fine, but we'll agree to disagree.
Luke, can you elaborate on what the other fine you think is?
I can't really talk about the fine system. I think that's where he's gone wrong. So we'll just come together as a players group and decide.
Okay, great. Thanks and good luck both.
Cheers.
Sure. Luke, hi, it's Michael Corkin from RT Radio here. I'm just wondering if you can talk about how conscious people were during the course of the week.
Sorry, how what?
With this final match before. How conscious were you during the course of the week that this was a final audition, for want of a better phrase? I mean, you were the fortunate ones tonight from shirts 1 to 23 to make that lasting final impression.
I didn't really look at it that way. It was more we come off a defeat last week, but on Wednesday. So it's more about, getting that right. Working on a few things on the Friday. Obviously, we had a bit of a longer team run. And then just putting our foot forward this week, coming away with a good result and, getting morale a bit higher again. So for me, it was quite easy. I haven't really been looking too far ahead. Sounds cliche, but it is. It's whatever you can do for the team. You try and do. And obviously, in this case, the things that the boys have been doing for the team has been working out well and everyone's been playing quite well. So, we'll just see what happens next week.
And it does appear that on the pitch, you're enjoying each other's company. You can see that by the way that you're actually playing. How difficult has it been over the last couple of weeks, given that we're in a pandemic, to bring four nations together? As you said, some players like yourself came in that a little bit late.
It's been pretty easy, to be fair. I think Warren's done a great job, and the guys that he's brought in here, we got on quite well. There's no real guys that I think, I don't like. So it has been easy, and playing for the boys and winning for the boys, it's when you're on that emotions high and it's so easy to connect. And we've had a few games to do that now. And like I said, tonight I was loving it. When boys put in big shots or turnovers or whatever really happened, tries, it's just so easy to celebrate. And I think that brings us closer together.
And just a final question for me, if you don't mind. I mean, a lot of players in positions have made one or two other people who are their kind of direct competitors. The hooking berth, there are four hookers there. There's a lot of competition, but you've got to help each other out, basically.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, competition is always good for training. You're improving each day when you've got competition. On the training field, obviously, we try and train as best we can. We try and improve as a player and put your best foot forward. And then when it comes, and the team's picked, you do whatever you can to help that guy prepare for the game. And I think I've had it with Jamie for years now, and the other two it's just brilliant. We're working well as a full.
Cool. Thanks, Mario.
Thank you, big man.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.